What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got a split review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new split from the bands Delusional Parasitosis, Ecchymosis, Dissevered, and Bleeding, entitled Scaphism. This is released on New Standard Elite. Yeah. A four-way split featuring bands from probably one of the most consistent and top-notch brutal death metal record labels to exist right now, that label being New Standard Elite. And when I had first heard about the buildings of a split release from New Standard Elite, I was extremely excited, because to my recollection, this was originally supposed to be a split between both Delusional Parasitosis and Excoriation out of Russia. But there was some logistics issues, and Excoriation wasn't able to produce material for the split, so this ended up turning into a four-way sort of affairs, with Delusional Parasitosis still being on board, but with the added inclusions of three really badass bands to represent New Standard Elite, Ecchymosis, Dissevered, and Bleeding. And here we are with this four-way split entitled Scaphism. I'm probably butchering that word, so I apologize in advance for that. But yeah, it's 13 tracks, and it clocks in at around 40 minutes in length. And pretty much, with the exception of Delusional Parasitosis, pretty much all these bands have 3 tracks apiece. Delusional Parasitosis having 4 songs, the most on the split. And that's where we're going to get started here on talking about this Scaphism split. Of course, Delusional Parasitosis are based mostly out of Detroit, Michigan, and in 2014 they put out an absolutely phenomenal album entitled Ingurgitating Intestinal Rot. Everything about that album was just amazing. It was a very short, sweet, and to-the-point thrill ride, but everything about that album worked. The vocals, the bass, the guitar riffs, the drumming, the production. That is a brutal death metal masterwork that still holds up very, very well. And this new material seems to be dialing things back just a little bit, and what I mean by that is that these songs sound a lot more primal and a lot more raw. You can hear it in the execution and the production and the overall delivery of songs, but it really still feels like you're hearing Delusional Parasitosis material. Like on the track Controlled by Psychotic Impulse, I believe that was one of the first songs to be released from this split. I absolutely love that song. I mean, just the insanity of the drum work just gets stuck in your head. Those fast double bass hits, the blasts, the snare, the pingy snare. I love that snare tone. You can't listen to a Delusional Parasitosis song without hearing some wild and over-the-top snare sounds, and you hear them all perfectly throughout that song, and even the next few songs to come out afterwards. It's just phenomenal to hear this guy do the drums the way he does, and for him to do it all natural. It's unbelievable. Everything else works very awesome musically. I love the audible bass. The riff work sounds amazing. James's vocals sound as nasty and as ugly as ever. I mean, he is such a very diverse vocalist for being extremely guttural. I mean, going to the track Intrauterine Dismemberment, you get some seriously killer vocal work going on there. Of course, you get his patented Predator-style vocals. And then on going back to the opening track, Controlled by Psychotic Impulse, Brian Forg from Syphilic does some guest growls on that track. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hard to differentiate who was who, because they both have very distinctive and unique voices. And excuse me, that was a really, really killer song to listen to, but absolutely killer way to get the split started with the 4 tracks from Delusional Parasitosis. Then moving on to Ecchymosis from Thailand, another really, really awesome band that got signed to New Standard Elite, and they too put out a very memorable debut full-length with Aberrant Amusement and Cadaveric Vomit Play. We have 3 new songs from this band, and the song that starts off their side of the split with Bizarre Formalin Experimentation, there's a riff towards the very beginning moments of that song that just sounds so violent and so punishing. I mean, it sets the tone off right for their side of the split, and these riffs just sound amazing. You get a lot of creativity going forward with the guitar playing, in addition to the audible bass and guitar riffs and drumming. You're going to get different sorts of drum styles throughout this split. Of course, Delusional Parasitosis set a standard with their opening songs, but then as Ecchymosis songs come around, you get a little bit more of a raw, unfiltered sort of performance going with the drums. I love the snare, I love the fills, I love the blasting. Just a lot of great momentum going for these songs. Really great songs to listen to here. Even the track Grotesque Self-Mutilating Escapism. Just some seriously entertaining stuff going on with this side of the split. The vocals sound nasty. I absolutely love this guy's delivery. So entertaining to listen to. Moving forward to Dissevered from Laos, they are another band that put out a really, really amazing debut. Probably one of my favorite New Standard Elite debuts in recent memory. Agonized Wails of Disseverment. Really, really killer band. And the three new songs that we hear from this side of the split are pretty much a continuation of this band's evolvement in sound. Straight up, unfiltered rawness, really raw sounding vocal work. The musicianship is very creative. Once again, you get some more wild, natural sort of drum sounds going on here. The riff work sounds amazing. The bass is audible. More very undecipherable and nasty sounding gutturals. Of course, everything sounds brutal, but it's easy to differentiate which band is which, and Dissevered definitely show their traits with songs like Vicious Abstination and Ruthless Nasogastic Gavage. Some very tongue-twisting song titles, to say the least bit here. Really great side of the split from Dissevered. And then last but not least, we get to Bleeding. This is a band that's been getting a lot of hype and attention from the label and from fans of the band. I really don't know much about them other than the fact that they put out a demo earlier last year called Depulsing Epidermal Perforations. And for their side of the split, we get those three exact songs from that side, from that particular demo, but they're redone, they're reworked. They sound a lot more modernized, a little bit cleaner, a bit of a better production, but it still feels like a Bleeding. It still feels like you're listening to those same three songs, but they sound way better. The vocals are super nasty, super undecipherable, but the drum work on here is amazing to listen to. I love the pop on the snare. I love the blasts. I love the creative moments of the drumming. The guitar and bass work is top-notch. It was top-notch sounding on the original demo, but these newer sounds, everything works out a lot better and a lot clearer, and I'm really excited to see and hear what potential future will be coming from this band. This is definitely one of those bands that you need to really be paying close attention to in the coming years ahead. So overall, personally, this is my favorite split of last year. It was a late release, but still better late than never, I say. I think this is an absolutely phenomenal split. If you are into brutal death metal, if you are into bands from New Standard Elite, or if you're into just death metal in general, this is an absolutely nasty, nasty split. Personally, I think the first half of the split is the best part. Delusional Parasitosis and Ecchymosis. Their side, Ecchymosis really surprised me with their new songs, and I really hope they continue on forward with that direction, especially with those punishing pit riffs. It's really amazing to listen to, so definitely a split worth listening to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box so you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the New Standard Elite Bandcamp page, where you can currently stream this split in its entirety. Hear it for yourself and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it, buy it digitally, and I will also leave you a link to where you can purchase a physical copy. There are CDs available right now to order directly from New Standard Elite. Definitely pick up a copy and make a difference however you're able to. So again, the split is Scaphism by Delusional Parasitosis, Ecchymosis, Dissevered, and Bleeding, released on New Standard Elite. Definitely go check this one out. This is absolutely worth purchasing. If you've happened to have heard this split, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it. Are any of you guys into the bands that I just talked about here? Let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until next time, Army Ho out.